Hey, it's John at Tinderbox Arts. So a little clip here from a previous video that I did about the Triumph bikes in certain years and certain models. The computer, or the ECU, will check battery voltage, and if it's below a certain threshold, it will not allow the bike to start. So you can check out that video, but I've already covered all that, and now I'm into replacing a battery and how that's done. So we're going to kind of dive in here and start at that point. While the battery's out, it's a good time to clean out this box, get any dirt out of there. And I always make a point to clean the terminals themselves. You can use a bit of light sandpaper and just make sure that you like a degreaser or anything like that, just to make sure they're super clean. So when you put this new battery back in, all these things are ready to go. All right, the new battery is here. It comes in a box and it comes dry, which is what I like. In other words, everything's all set up and the acid comes in a separate box and you add it to the battery when you're ready. And the reason I like that is because you know the battery is fresh, it's never been used. And they also put this seal across the top here, so you know it's never been opened or anything. So by adding the acid yourself, you know you're starting brand new, and then after we add the acid, we need to charge it up. Now, it's always a good idea to check these. You make sure the size is the same thing and make sure all the specs are the same. Here it all looks good. All right, to get this thing filled, we have the electrolyte or battery acid here separately. There's some caps along the top here. This ends up being used as the battery cap later when we're done. First thing we want to do is take this seal off. All right, and we peel that off. And I'm not sure if you can see this. Let me try to bring this a little closer. Right in here, you can see there's a sharp pointed area right there. That will help with piercing. Put this back down. And these things here, I believe, because there's a seal, foil seal on here. So those will help pierce that seal and the electrolyte will flow in. And we just got to make sure we get it all completely in. So we'll just take this cap off. All right, so this cap gets used later as the battery seal, and then you see here there's foil seals on there. So we're just gonna tilt this in up like this perfectly, right? And pop it in like that, and that's all we gotta do. Now you may have to squeeze this a little bit, and what you wanna see is the bubbles flowing out here. This takes a little bit of time, so I'm not sure I'll keep this on camera the whole time here, but you just want to make sure that's all flowing in and it's going down there. It's going to probably take about 5 minutes or so. So let me come back when that's done. All right, after a little time lapse there, it's been about 6 minutes, I think. And I can take this plastic doodad out. And careful, I just don't want to get any of that acid on me if I can help it. That goes in the trash. And then this is what we took off of the bottle there, and this gets used as the caps for the battery. Now it is normal, if you feel this right now, it's warm, that's normal, so don't freak out about that. I like to let this sit for about an hour or so, just to make sure, all the cells soak in. Now this is the charger I'll be using, and I am using this for the reason that I can select the amperage that we'll be using to charge this. You want to select a very low amperage. So in this case, there's a 2 amp, 8 amp, or 15 amp. I'm going to stick with a 2 amp, basically a trickle charge. But this is a smart charger. You can select, the battery type, whether it's standard, AGM, or gel, for example, and it'll use a microprocessor with an algorithm to charge this battery correctly. So I'll be using that, and at 2 amps, it'll take quite a while to charge, but that's fine. I just want it nice and slow. So I'm going to let this soak for a little while. We'll put it on the charger, let that do its thing, and then once it's fully charged, we can put it back on the bike. All right, all charged up now, and they do give you these nuts and bolts new. You can use the old ones if you want, but for the connection here. Now I want to put my cap back on, make sure that's nice and tight before I go lifting this up anywhere. And I do want to test this both for voltage at rest. I'm going to test it for load when we try to start it. And I'm going to test the charging system once it's running, because I want to make sure I'm putting a brand new battery in. I want to make sure everything is working correctly. All right, to get this situated, we'll just get our computer back in. I did reseat these connectors, which is not a bad idea to do once in a while. Don't forget we have the spacer here, which actually you can put in after the battery's in if you like. And just, whoops, grab the battery here. Make sure there's nuts on the top here don't fall out before I get everything connected. So I'm just going to slide that in like that. Get my spacer. That's that. Don't forget our strap here has a hook underneath here. It's a metal hook, and then it actually straps over this cable here as well. All right, so that's in. And then our connections here, just make sure you get positive and positive. I have a SAE pigtail here for the charger. So I'll just make sure I get this oriented the way I want it. Nice solid connection there. And where's my other one? Here it is. All right, so we have alligator clips here just to hold it in place so I don't have to hold it. Resting voltage, we got 12.86, which is excellent. I'm going to turn the key on. We'll see where this goes with just the light on. And then I'll start it, and we'll see how low the voltage goes when the starter is actually running. So key on. Okay, 12.4. That's good. And let me hit the starter. I might not be able to watch this at the same time. I'm going to have to look at it. Here we go. Okay, that all looks really good. I tried to catch at the corner of my eye what the voltage was under load. I think it was 11 or in that range. I'll have to check the video, but it was certainly well above 9.6, which is where you want to be. So we're in good shape as far as that. And the charging voltage, I was pointing there over the side of the bike. The charging voltage is in mid-13s. That's excellent too. So we're in good shape. So this battery is all set, and I shouldn't have any more problem with the starting.